Hello everyone, welcome back to Rob's Gaming Table. I'm Rob, and today I'm going to be playing some Neon Rain solo mode, one player only. If you're looking for the two-player mode of this game and how that works, I would recommend checking out the playlist link that I've included in the video description, where you can see us explain the game, play it two players, stream it for a couple hours, have some fun trying out some different characters. Yeah, we did that last night. You can find that in the video description. Hello. Thank you to those who support us on Patreon and our YouTube members. Thanks for supporting the channel, making this possible. This copy of this game was provided by the publisher, so keep that in mind. But I'm not being paid to play this by the publisher. It's brought to you by these people right here. Thank you for supporting the channel. Much appreciated. Hello, everybody. Come on in, join the live stream. If you have any questions as I'm playing through it, let me know. I will show you how the solo works. I will do an overview of how the game works. Then we'll play it. Maybe a couple times. There are a few different difficulty levels, so maybe we can try out a couple maybe, or something. I don't know. We'll play it at least once, maybe twice. So this isn't going to be the longest stream ever, since the game is a 10 to 15 minute playtime. Now, of course, there are best of 3 modes and those kind of variants in the game if you're playing 2-player. Of course, you can do whatever you want with it and make your own, you know, little tournaments and stuff, but that stuff's not included in the game by default. There's no ladder mode, no campaign mode, no traveling across the world, as you'll find in some arcade fighting games, but this is inspired by arcade fighting games. It's a quick 2-player little combat card game, but it does have a solo mode included, which is almost identical to the 2-player, except when you're fighting against the computer in this fighting game, you will be playing against the same characters are available, the same fighters to choose from, but they're slightly modified for solo play. And the solo has its own deck, which I'll show you when we're playing. But it's only a 1.8 complexity, so definitely on the lighter, and shorter end for this channel. We don't normally play games. You know, we keep them nice and spread out every now and then, cleanse the palate with something light. I do play a lot more light games off stream, though, at family members' houses, over the holidays especially. I have quite the collection of, like, more lighter, gateway, fun, quick games, especially for playing with nieces and nephews, my daughter and stuff. So this is the kind of game you'd see me playing like off stream, versus the big epic campaign games and stuff we play on stream a lot. So just keep that in mind. But does it smell like a lightsaber battle in the rain? No, it smells like Chip Theory Games PVC plastic cards included with too many bones. Anyways, okay. Let's see. What does it taste like? Possibly like cancer. The taste you taste right before you get cancer from licking highly chemical treated plastic materials. So yeah, thanks Yogi. Thanks for asking that question, which I obviously had to find out. Well, it was fun while it lasted. All right. Literally just finished catching up on yesterday's 2-player stream. Minion, that's awesome to hear. Great. So you don't need to be here then. Anyways, just kidding. So we'll show you the solo today, and show you how that works. But it'll be the same gameplay. Like if you watch yesterday's stream and you saw like how resolving the turns go and all that stuff, and you know the prioritization of, you know, joysticks and buttons and combos and all that stuff, you'll get that here too. But it makes sense. Bye. Remy's back. Just dropped in to say hi. We'll watch later tonight. Have fun with this great game. Try the 2v2 mode, even in solo, works great. Okay, maybe we'll do that today. So again, it's take 2 fighters. So I give it's weird though, how do I guess I give the AI like secret, just shuffle and give them 2, and then just randomly flip one? Because the part of the fun of that 2v2 mode, I would think, was picking which fighter you want to fight first and stuff, but I guess it doesn't matter that much. And then we do a best of 3 and try to knock out their fighter. Maybe we do that. But I do want to show the default mode first. Just the quick, you know, 10-minute, let's do a fight, how you'd play this game normally. And obviously you can make it longer by just doing multiple fights, but we could do that. Awesome. Yeah, we definitely try that. But I didn't get to try it yesterday. Obviously, we were streaming, and after stream, I didn't make Mel play it with me again. I just felt like she played enough with me on stream. And yeah, I won't spoil anything from that stream. But Rachel, thank you so much for hitting the join button down below and becoming a producer of the channel. Thank you so much for supporting us here. We appreciate it. All right, so there's the info. It's published by Neon Knight Games, but they are now owned by Chip Theory Games. And if you've watched the channel for any amount of time, I have hundreds, if not probably like 1,000 hours of different streams of Chip Theory Games products, but usually on the higher complexity, large scale end. This is on the definitely complete opposite end in terms of length of game and complexity, but I am playing with the deluxe version, which does have the Chip Theory treatment of, you know, upgraded components, PVC plastic cards, but there is a regular, I'm assuming more affordable retail edition that has paper cards that you can sleeve up and, you know, cardboard tokens. So just keep that in mind. I have like metal coins and things. So if you back the crowdfunding, I'm sure that's the one you could have gotten, the deluxe edition, but there are 2 editions. I don't know the availability on any of them other than in an email I got when I was sent the game, is that I believe the retail release, and I don't know where, all I know is the retail release is November 29th. I'm pretty sure is when the game drops. So we're doing the stream on the 27th, so it should be in stores soon or on web stores or wherever. But yeah, if you're looking for a copy, but I don't know those answers for sure. All I know is November 29th. That's the last information I had. I don't know if that's changed, but yeah. Rachel says, new member here. Thanks so much for the vids, new board gamer, and you guys have helped me so much. Help is a nice term to use loosely. So we basically, like, you know, getting in this hobby is not all sunshines and rainbows. Hopefully, you know, we didn't fill your house with board games that now you don't know where to sleep and eat because your bed and your kitchen table and your fridge is full of board games and that kind of stuff. And you're going to your bank asking for loans because you need some all-in Kickstarters. Hopefully that didn't happen yet. But other than that, I'm glad you're here in the hobby. That's awesome. Just kidding. But yeah, not many people we truly help, if you know what I mean. We kind of suck you into the hobby, and I'm sorry about your luck. Anyways. Hey, Greg. Okay. Paranoid Custodian says, the release in Chip Theory Games web store is December, I believe. Okay. Yeah, my email's from like maybe a month ago or like a couple weeks ago. I looked at it yesterday and it said November 29th, but again, that things change, right? Always, and based on different regions and stuff. But basically just look for the game coming out soon if it's not already out. And I know people from crowdfunding already have it, like Remy, who's in the chat, who told us yesterday they already have it and played it and stuff. So I know backers have got it already recently. Oh no, you bought Gloomhaven first. Oh no. Oh no. Have I taught you nothing? Oh man, don't get discouraged by complexity. Yeah, good advice, Tom. Yeah, take your sweet time. Now, if you were really paying attention, Rachel, you would have bought Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion first and learned the Gloomhaven system with that and played that shorter campaign to make sure you like Gloomhaven before you dropped hundreds of dollars on big Gloomhaven. But maybe you mean that. I don't know. But I guess no one's here for every stream where I just randomly drop side information about random games, you know, where my mind just goes off topic and whatever. But you fell in love. Okay, that's great. Hey, I'm happy for you either way. That's good. Again, I started with Gloomhaven before playing Jaws of the Lion, but just looking back, if somebody was new to it, like, you know, Jaws of the Lion is where, like, I would start, but yeah. Sorry to hear that, Paranoid Custodian. Yeah. The good old days when I first discovered Too Many Bones. Yeah, I was having a blast, and yeah, I'm sorry for everyone who fell down that rabbit hole. Sorry, not sorry. Oh, okay, you bought Jaws of the Lion, then learned Kickstarter and got Frosthaven. Oh, okay, cool. All right, let's get back to Neon Rain. We're gonna play this game now. All right, so I have the rulebook here. I couldn't find a PDF right now, so I can bring it up on stream, but I just want to show you guys the solo mode. Is literally, the difference is like 1 page of rules. I'll still go over how the game works, but just so you know, this game is like a 10-ish page rulebook, including FAQ, not the deepest game, and then solo mode's basically described here with some examples of kind of how the solo card works. So I'll kind of show it, but I just want to show there are 3 difficulties: training mode, normal mode, and hard mode, and I'll explain the differences when you understand the game. But I'll pretend you didn't watch yesterday's stream where I fully explained the 2-player mode, but basically we're playing an arcade fighting game. Now, I don't know what exact game inspired this kind of like, this is kind of like Japanese style arcade fighting game. I mean, they all are Japanese arcade fighting games, except for like, I guess, Mortal Kombat is like a US one. I don't know what other US ones are designed by like US studios and stuff, but basically the Japanese fighting games like inspired it all, right? And that's what this kind of reminds me of. But think of a la like Street Fighter in my mind, like Mortal Kombat, you know, that kind of stuff. But if anyone knows like which game this is this like a Neo Geo SNK game or something that this is like inspired by, I don't know, or it's like completely like doesn't remind you of any arcade game. I'm curious, but anyways, this is symbolizing or inspired by those kind of like 90s arcade games. You go in the arcade, you pop in your tokens, you're fighting each other, joystick buttons, creating combos, battling back and forth. You're pushing your offense, you're backing up into defense, you're trying to time things right. You might be doing combos, you might be countering combos. You're fighting back and forth, trying to knock your opponent down from 25 life to 0 and win. There is best of 3 where as you win, you'll earn an arcade token and, you know, first one to get 3 wins. And that's kind of how the game works. And it's the same in solo. In the 2-player game, we have identical decks. So the second player, player 2, would have their deck of buttons and joysticks and counter cards that they would play. You know, and you take turns attacking. The other player has an optional defense, and then they get to attack, and you have an optional defense. When you attack, if you attack, you don't have to attack. You could also recover and draw up to your 7 cards that you start with. That's your hand limit in this game. There is no drawing at the end of turn, drawing at the start of turn, nothing like that. Part of the strategy of this game is deciding when to recover instead of attacking to get cards built up. That could be offensive or defensive cards, giving you more options, but does leave your opponent, give your opponent a breather, right? So knowing when to time that based on how many cards your opponent has in hand, what options they might have, what cards they've played, that's all there. Because usually we have identical decks, but when you're playing it's a solo, they have a special deck, and this will all make sense when I explain kind of the cards in my deck and how they simulate that just on a deck of cards. So we have a 44 card deck, and in this game when you're attacking, if you're going to attack on your turn, you must play at least 1 card, and you can play up to 3. Okay? There's buttons in the game, and if you can play a card on attack, you'll see a damage symbol there. Super straightforward. If it has this symbol in the top right, if the camera will focus on it, you can play this card on offense. And this button literally just does 1 damage. Okay, that's all it does. If I play this and my opponent does nothing, I deal a damage when we resolve buttons. There is an order to resolving cards you play. If I play this A button, and there's what we find out yesterday on stream, 5 of each button in the deck at least, or at least we think. We didn't count every single button, but so the X and A buttons, or blue and green buttons, both can be played on offense and both do 1 damage. Okay. The B button here does the B button does 2 damage, can be played on offense. Okay. And there's 4 buttons. Again, the fighting games I grew up playing in the 90s in arcades, there's more than 4 buttons, okay? Like this is obviously like the home, whoever designed this game probably grew up with like playing fighting games in their home on a controller. Loser! But when I think of it, I think of the arcade machines. And again, some of the Japanese games might use this, but I remember like 6 or 5 buttons, or, you know, we had like a block button. Sometimes there's a back button as block. Street Fighter games had 6 buttons, right? Mortal Kombat's, you know, 5 buttons to start, then they had the block button in the middle, the run button was added later, you know, that kind of stuff. So it's more than 4 buttons, but to keep it simple, again, they're trying to keep the scope of this card game light, quick, fast, to play, simple to learn, you know, fun, hard to master, but not really hard to master, just take some plays and, you know, trying new things. But not the deepest strategy game ever, but there is strategy to it for sure. So the yellow button, played on attack, does also 2 damage, okay? So these buttons are basically the same. These buttons are basically the same, but it doesn't matter which button it is based on letter and color for combos. And then we have joysticks. Again, like I mentioned yesterday on stream, unfortunately, this is a cheap joystick because it only has, you know, it's a square gate on the bottom, so it only has like basically 4 directions, unfortunately. It's not a, you know, octagonal gate underneath the joystick to allow you full, you know, 8 directions. So in this game, they couldn't do half circle turns and stuff like that, unfortunately. So again, whoever designed this kind of Unfortunately, they don't have the coolest arcade experience or machine or memories because they're kind of playing with a crappy controller, basically a control deck or joystick and buttons. They got the knockoff stuff. But anyways, there are 4 directions on the joysticks. There are multiple copies of each one. If you notice, some joysticks can be played on defense also, which is that shield symbol, but also can be played on offense. None of the buttons can be played on defense, but there is a way around that. So the joysticks, basically, they generate you stars, which build up a charge meter on your character sheet, and I'll show you that. They can heal you up to your full health. You can't go above your max health, which starts at 25. It's the same for all fighters. And you can generate shields, which block all defense except for the star power abilities on your charge meter, basically. And then you can just force your opponent to discard cards off the top of their deck. And the reason why that's important is because you do not draw your discard pile, when you draw through your deck, you do not take your discard pile and shuffle it back in. You just play with what you have, and if you run out of cards, you can't do anything. If you both run out of cards and you can't really do anything and no one's knocked out yet, you just get a double KO once you're both out of cards. So you just play with what you got. So you got to be kind of smart. You got to be offensive. You can't just sit there and turtle forever and keep drawing cards and playing defensively and like doing crappy combos. You got to like output the damage and get your meter firing off to do abilities. And I'll show you a character card, for example, here. We have Jin here, who has Posture is his star meter ability, a super basic one. Once you get up to 6 stars generated off the joysticks, you have to fire this off and do 7 undefendable damage. So shields don't block it. But you can heal it back up after, kind of thing. But it is undefendable damage when it comes from this, but shields do block all other sources of damage, and you must block them. There's no choice. You spend the shields, it's gone. Same with the stars. There's like no choice when you want to fire it off, which originally I thought it's kind of lame, but I'm sure they play tested it and just want to keep the game simple, keep it flowing, remove some of the decision points. But me as like a more complex gamer, I kind of wish that was there, but it's not. And they kept it pretty basic and the scope pretty basic for this game going forward. Doesn't mean it's not fun though. Does not mean it's not fun. All right. So let's look at another fighter. We'll also have a star ability. This one is 5, does 4 damage, and also generates stars. So if you keep generating stars, you don't lose any extra. Like once you spend the 5, if you gain more or you had more on your board, let's say you started with 4 and you gain 5 on a turn, you'd be up to 9. You'd fire this guy's ability off for 5, still have 4 stars, and this would generate 2 more, which would put you at 6. Then you would spend 5 more to fire it off again, and it just keeps going. You can't stop it. And so you'd be doing like 8 damage to your opponent without them being able to do anything about it. And it all happens simultaneously in those steps. So yes, you could double knock each other out if you both are firing off your abilities, you're on low health. There are like double knockouts do happen in the game. And then each fighter has an ability at the bottom. There are 12 fighters in the game. And again, the AI has a computer version, if you're playing solo, of all the fighters. And they have slightly modified stuff based on it being solo. And again, their own solo deck, which is different than our deck, but I just want to show that. So the other thing, so those are fighters. We talked about buttons. We talked about joysticks. The other thing on defense, so I said on offense, you could play 1 to 3 cards. You must play 1 if you're attacking. The other option, if it's your turn to attack, you can not attack and choose to recover to draw back up to 7 cards. And you can do this as long as you're drawing a card, you could do it. But like you might try to empty your hand. And then if you recover, you might recover because you want to get some defensive cards in hand, for example, or you want to try to save some cards in hand to hopefully draw up to create some combos, and the combos we'll show you in a second. But I just wanted to show you on defense, there's some cards here called counter cards that can only be put on defense. There is block. This basically removes any button your opponent is attacking you with. You can choose a button, and you can play up to 2 defensive cards, and you'll remove a button from your opponent's attack. Then there is throws, and guess what? It's purple. It can be played on defense. And it lets you actually remove a joystick from your opponent's attack, which can break up combos. And again, I'll show you the combos. It'll make sense once you know all these cards, what's going on. And the third counter card is Combo Breaker. And this one you can be playing on defense. But the cool part is you can't play buttons on defense. Combos don't work on defense, but you can attach a button and play on defense to this card. It still counts as the 1 card. So you can play 2 cards defensively. And this is kind of like a sneaky third card you can get in there because you're playing as part of a combo breaker. And it actually gets resolved first. When you're resolving cards, you resolve counters first. After both players have played their cards, you resolve counters first. So combo breakers, throws, and blocks. Then you resolve joysticks simultaneously. And again, you can play some joysticks on defense. So both players could resolve joysticks at the same time, generate stars, and then fire off their abilities at the same time. So that's how it commonly will happen and how you could have a double knockout sometimes. And then also, you do buttons after that last, and then add in any combo damage and stuff. But the cool part, since counters would resolve first, there is the play, and I've seen it happen, where you're both down to like 1 or 2 health, and then somebody plays a combo breaker, and they actually resolve their button first, and they deal damage before we get to joysticks and buttons, and they actually knock you out on defense, which is kind of cool. And it can happen in fighting games, like, you know, video game fighting games in the arcades, so it's pretty cool. Does the game have stick drift? I hope not, because it's not that kind of stick. You're thinking of an analog stick, Yogi, which is not relevant to this game or to arcades. That's, again, I'm sorry to hear that you're more of like a home gamer. You don't understand like how arcade controls are much different than the home console market. But again, there's solutions out there for that. There's a new style of magnetic joysticks that you can get in controllers now. And hopefully a lot of the console manufacturers start putting those in, those cheap bastards. So we don't have stick drift on analog sticks. These are not analog sticks. These are digital. They're digital joysticks, which are different. But anyways, so that's the counter cards. You need some educating? Oh, go back to yesterday's stream where I ramble on about Hap versus Sanwa joysticks. It was all meant to be a big joke, but yes, it's something I'm very passionate about. Yeah, they're using the wrong kind of joysticks. I want a Hap version of this game that has bat-style joysticks and convex buttons, please. But unfortunately, we got the crappy Sanwa components here, unfortunately. And I think they're knockoff Sanwa too, which is even worse. No, I've not played Bullet. I think like 20 years ago, I used to grind up some fruit in a Bullet to make smoothies. Is that what you're talking about, Doug? And yeah, they're Temu joysticks. Yeah. Wish.com arcade buttons. I don't know. AliExpress. Anyways, so combos. Let's talk about combos. The coolest part of the game, and it comes with this reference card, which tells you all the rules you need to know, pretty much for attacking. And when you're on defense, if you're learning, you flip it over, and it gives you the rules for defending, and what the sticks you can play on defense are, what the counter buttons do, and it even tells you the round resolution order on here. It's all here. So you resolve counter cards, joysticks, like I said. You'll see that as I'm playing. This all makes sense. But just so you know, if you want to look at this, you can pause the video and kind of see. But the important part we're going to look at now is the combos. Okay? Combos are the coolest thing. They only work on offense. Okay? If you play, you can play up to 3 cards, remember. So if you play 2 of the same joystick, it will generate you a bonus star. If you play 2 of the same button, so the same letter and color, you will generate an extra damage. If you play a right joystick, basically you're being aggressive, and a button, you do an extra damage. If you play a left joystick, which we all know in some arcade games, it's blocking in some fighting games by holding back that don't have a block button, you actually heal, which I think should be the shield, but anyways. Then they have the down button, which would be like a ducking, but they decide to make it the block, which is, again, a little weird. So I don't know who designed this, again, fully. Well, I do know who designed it, but I don't know what their background is with arcade games, but still got the feel, but man, I'm just kidding. All right. Anyways, a player may recover by skipping their attack and drawing their hand limit of 7, which I talked about as the recovery, right? So you can attack by playing 1 to 3 cards, and you can only play cards with the attack symbol on them. Now, the cool part about combos, if I play like 3 yellow Y buttons, you can reuse the same button or joystick in multiple combos. So if I play 3 yellow buttons, I could take 2 of them and pair them together. Maybe I can show you with some buttons here. I see some blues. Let's do it with blues because I just see blues really quickly there. So if I played 3 blues on offense and my opponent didn't block any of them and remove them, or didn't play a combo breaker to completely shut off combos, this would be 1, 2, 3 damage by default. Of course, if I had a hero ability that added damage to blue buttons, or if I played 3 buttons the same color, added some extra damage or something. Some of them have, like, if you play 3 buttons, you get bonus damage, or if you play buttons a different color, you get bonus damage on some of the fighter abilities. But in this case, a combo, if we're just looking at combos, these 2 would combo together, get me a bonus damage. These 2 would combo together to get me a bonus damage. And these 2 would combo together to get me a bonus damage. So I would get 3 bonus damage if my opponent didn't disrupt it with any counter cards. So it's kind of cool. You can like really get crazy with the combos and do some insane turns which plays really well into the holding cards, like the drawing up mechanic of this game. The recovery is really key, especially when you played a bunch and you learn what cards you've played already, which cards could you draw into, and planning for that. It's not all just about, and I've seen comments on BGG where people are like, there's no skill to this game, no strategy. And it's just like, that's because they haven't really played it a bunch. But there is, and I've learned this over time. So if you haven't seen any like downs, you can also choose to play this on offense or defense, already a decision point there. You can choose to mix this with a couple buttons. If I played this down with 2 buttons that match color, I can make 2 combos. I can generate 2 extra shields there. Or I could play this on defense, but there's no combos on defense. But maybe I just desperately need a star to fire off my ability, my star ability. Maybe I just need a defense because I'm getting low in health and I'm in trouble. Maybe I want to save this because I haven't drawn in any yet, and I want to pair one of them together with another one on offense. Maybe I want to try to pair 3 of them together and generate 3 bonus stars to really get my charge ability flowing. So there's lots of decision when you want to draw up, when you want to hold things, when you want to just let them go. And as you see through your deck, you'll kind of be able to look at your discard pile, or you just know what you've seen already, because there is a set number of everything, right? So when you play it a bunch, you know if you've used your couple blocks already. I think there's 3 in the deck. There's only 2 combo breakers, for example. So if you know no combo breakers are coming, you might not want to save that single red button that you want to pair with a combo breaker. You might want to just play it out, get it out of your hand so you can draw new cards. Or maybe you know you haven't seen any red buttons, so you might want to draw into them, and they're coming, so maybe you want to pair them together to make a really crazy offensive play. Maybe you want to hold cards together to create combos for when your opponent's low on cards in hand and maybe doesn't have any defensive cards, or they've already played some of their defensive cards. So the odds of them not having them, you want to time it correctly when you do your big attack, and they can't just play one card to disrupt it all and destroy that huge play you've been lining up, which is part of the game and is happening. And that is something from fighting games, right? Where you build up a combo meter, you get your combo ready, you're timing it right, but if your opponent's ready for it and blocks it and then counters it and reverse combos you and reverse air throws you, whatever, it's like, you know, there's counterplay to it, and timing is part of it too. So that does apply in this game, and I learned that after playing a few times. So on surface, it might seem super simple, just do the best combo you have every turn. But no, some of those cards can be used on defense. Some of those cards you might not want to have an empty hand next turn while your opponent's attacking you. So you might want to recover right now to get some defensive cards, or to be ready to hit your opponent when they're low on cards. Yeah, so there's like definitely an ebb and flow to it that you can play with. Or you can ignore and just mash buttons. Just like a fighting game. And just play whatever and have some fun. Okay. Any questions? Hey, Dan. Blue shirt guy. Picks blue buttons. Totally random, right? Hey, Dan. Okay. I'll try to look up this bullet game if I remember, but yeah, I've never heard of it. Okay. All right. So we got our fighters here. We got the AI fighters here. We could do some random. We'll just pick a random one. I'll shuffle my deck, of course. Everyone loves tuning into a live stream and having to watch me shuffle cards. I gotcha. Exciting content. And again, I'm playing with the deluxe version, so it's got these plastic cards and acrylic tokens. There's the shields that we're talking about that you gain on your character card. There's the stars you build up on your ability. And then there's the tokens for like when you're playing best of 3, little arcade tokens. And they're cardboard in the normal game. But again, you don't handle them too often. Like you're not like pulling them out of a bag or anything. So I don't think it matters that much. But the dials are cardboard though. Okay. I don't know why I'm shuffling the like 3rd paper cards when I could just, you know, abuse them because they're plastic. And you can go there. But yeah. The cool part about this game though, I see the comment about you're talking about Bullet. Oh, okay, you're talking about Bullet probably, right? About the anime girls. Yeah, if it's like anime girls like half naked, not interested. But this game on the other hand is like kind of anime inspired, but it's respectable anime and like has a very clean look to it. And we looked up yesterday and I was right. The artist behind this game and the designer behind this game, the one who started this studio, is the artist behind all the art that we've seen in Dice Throne. So you might notice a similarity in the art styles. But yeah, see, this is like respectable, right? Like you know? Definitely cool. And again, we see in fighting games, they're not always so respectable with how they portray, you know, their women, is the thing. So anyways, is this all the fighters? Oh yeah, I did remove the fighters we played with on stream yesterday. We're not going to put them in today, but there they are if you just want to see them. But we're not going to play with them. I'm keeping them out just because if you've already watched yesterday's stream, I want you to see some new stuff. So we're just going to keep them out just to spice it up. But you might see them as computer opponents. Yeah. When shuffling is the most exciting part. Time for self-reflection. Okay, so we got our 25 health set up, and we're going to play through the game. And if you have any questions, if I didn't clear anything, ask questions in the live chat, and I'll try to answer them. I'll try to explain everything as I'm going. So obviously, it's a 10 to 15 minute game. I'm going to be explaining it, decisions, all that stuff. I'll show you the solo deck and kind of how it works. I should probably show you at least one card. So the AI, depending if they're attacking or defending, is super simple. They flip a card after I play cards, and they'll do the defensive side. And that's what they'll do. Now, it is a little weird, and I had to look it up and figure it out, was wait, they can just play 2 buttons on defense? Yes. So it is a little weird. They'll do things on defense that you may have learned are not allowed in the game, but they get to do them. So that's kind of confusing, but just do what it says on the card. And if it's their turn to attack, you just flip a card and do what it says on the top, on the attacking side. As simple as that. But you need to also remember what they're doing with their abilities. You got to pay attention to their stars, fire off their ability. You resolve everything in the same kind of order. So you'd resolve counterplay, like counter cards, joysticks, then buttons in that order. And on some of their cards, you'll see they will play a joystick and a button, or joysticks and buttons, or joystick and buttons, whatever. There's a counter card to throw, so they're throwing a joystick away if you even played a joystick. Normally, in the 2-player game, or myself, I can't play a throw card if they don't play a joystick. But obviously, the AI doesn't make choices on cards. So if they can throw, they'll throw. But otherwise, it doesn't matter if I didn't play a joystick. Yeah, 10 to 15 minute game, so get ready for a 2-hour playthrough. All right. Welcome to Rob's Gaming Table. But yeah, we'll do maybe 1 or 2 plays. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so my fighter is going to be, randomly, Faye. She has evasive maneuver, so she'll generate 5... When she generates 5 stars on her little star power ability here, I'll do 5 undefendable damage to the enemy and generate a shield for myself. And then to the sky. When playing an up joystick, your opponent cannot play a throw to counter it. So in this case, we would just ignore this throw if the AI tried to throw my up joysticks away. And up joysticks will generate me 2 stars. There is no combo for the up joystick other than playing 2 or more of the same joystick together, but there is no up and button combo for joysticks. Okay, so that's my fighter that I randomly chose. And then let's randomly pick one for the computer. And we're going to get Sunshine. So Sunshine has the ability Starlight, 5 stars, 4 undefendable attack, generates a star, so does have the potential to trigger them over and over again. And then it has Solar Flare. If any buttons are played when defending, add 1 damage. So that makes sense for the AI who's going to be playing buttons against me on defense. But I guess you play a button when you play a counter breaker card, so or a combo breaker card, sorry. Or some of the characters that I can play allow me to play a button on defense and stuff too. So, which I think is her that does that, but the normal card. But we're playing as AI here, so okay. So we'll okay. So let's shuffle their deck up a little bit. Oh, we're just going to choose random characters. Yeah, we'll just do random. Okay. All right. So in the solo mode, the human player, yourself, will always go first. And we'll draw 7 cards as normal. Okay. Let's take a look at what we got. Holy buttons, Batman. Okay, so we got a block. We got, oh, 3 A's. Okay, what was our ability again? Up joysticks. Well, we didn't get any up joysticks, but we did get a forward, which could be comboed to generate extra damage. And I guess discarding cards from our opponent could be good. Their deck seems smaller than mine, so maybe that's good. But it might be the same, I don't know. So yeah, we have some options. I don't have a counter break or anything. I might save this B, so maybe we can find something to pair with it, because it is kind of a nice damage. We could start off just trying to do a combo of 3 buttons that match. That's kind of rare to get. Yeah, maybe we do that. Let's just start cycling through cards, and maybe be a little more aggressive on the recoveries. So, then again, I'm not generating stars, but this joystick, I feel like maybe I just play a defensive play and then draw back up a little more aggressive, and maybe we can get this joystick paired with similar joystick, maybe extra button that will combo with it. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna do this, and again, normally you'd play your cards as the attacker in the 2-player game. Same kind of works in the solo game, where your opponent would look at it, get to make decisions, and then choose what they want to play. But they could only play things that actually interact with this. But again, the AI is going to flip, and then we just, you know, do what's worse for us, basically. But again, they got a throw, but I have no... Normally, in a 2-player game, your opponent can't play throws right now, because I have no joysticks to throw out of the combo. But we just ignore that. That's all. But anyways, okay, so I get to do my full combo to them. So 1, 2, 3 damage, and then we combo these two together, and these two together. So this will be a total of 6 damage. And we bring them down to 19. Oh yeah, the difficulty I need to explain now that we understand how the game works. I forgot to go back to that, loop around back. So the difficulties are, now that you understand kind of how the game works, training mode. If you, the player, decide to recover, the computer hero will also recover. So they'll take a turn off and won't attack you. Right here. This means they'll take no action and just pass the turn back to you. In normal mode, which we're playing right now, the computer hero never recovers. They will always attack on their turn. So they just constantly keep coming at you. And then in hard mode, they never recover. Same thing. They'll always attack on their turn. But when they're attacked, they'll actually flip 2 cards on defense instead of just 1. So more likely they'll get things to really mess you up on defense and also hit you, because they can draw buttons and things on defense. But again, there's no combos on defense. But on offense, we would have to do any combos possible by the opponent that we didn't disrupt. Okay. So they are now attacking. So we'll just draw a card for their attack. And they're attacking with a forward joystick, which generates them a star. And they force me to discard a card off of my deck. And they have a Y button with it. Now it's my turn to play. I can remove that Y button with my block and break up this combo, because a forward plus, or sorry, right in this game, sorry, a forward plus a button is an extra damage. So if I remove that button by playing this block, and remember I can play up to 2 cards on defense, but I literally have no joysticks to play on defense. I have no other counter cards, so all these are only offensive cards. So this is like the only card I could play. I don't have to play it, and I can only play it if it actually does something. In this case, it'll remove the Y button from the play. Now we resolve an order. This is a little more complex of a turn. So we do counter cards first, which will remove this button. Then we do joysticks, which they played a joystick, so they will gain a star, and they'll force me to discard a card. Just making sure, yep. Okay. Oh, an up joystick, that's my thing. Damn you, Sunshine, damn you. All right. And then they resolve buttons, but I remove this button from the play, so there's no buttons to resolve. And they didn't hit their ability. That would have happened in the joystick step. If you ever earn a star or more stars that set you equal to or above your ability, they fire off right away, simultaneous if they both are happening. They will happen as soon as you achieve the stars. You literally stop what you're doing, you resolve them, and then go back to that order to do buttons last. Okay, so it's back to my turn on attack. Now I could just jam some buttons down, but if I do that, I leave myself empty-handed. Like I could play these together, and this does combo with this, and this combos with this, so that would be 2 bonus damage. Not the worst play. The buttons aren't the same, so they don't combo together. But then I would have an empty hand, and then my opponent gets to attack me, and I can't do anything about it. And this isn't the best play, so maybe I could draw back up right now. I might draw into defensive cards, but I'm only drawing 4 cards because I still have 3 in hand. So that's also the choice. Like, I could wait a turn and draw way more cards and have a more complete hand. But if I do that, I'm leaving myself completely open for a turn. And it's not like any of these I can save for defense to help me. So if I'm saving them, they're just going to be played for offense. But I could, let's say, save these and just literally play like 1 card if I wanted. But that's kind of sucky, right? I might as well just rest up then. But yeah, like this is the kind of decision that comes up when you get to the point where you're like, should I attack? Should I recover? Oh yeah, that's my block. You're right. I don't know why I threw that in there. Thank you. Where'd that block go? Later I'm playing Mel and I'm like, I can't ever block your buttons. I don't know where my block went. It's in the solo deck. Damn it. Okay, so what I will do here, I will actually choose to recover and draw back up to my 7 card. Oh, look, 2 Bs. Oh, 2 blues. Nice, nice, nice. And 1 more card, right? And a block. Okay, so now I'm way more better off on defense now. So my opponent, like, you know, can't just like smash me with no response, right? So, but that was my attack. They don't need to draw a card for defense because I didn't play anything, so there's nothing for them to play against me. But now it's their attack, right? So they're going to attack me. And they just play a down joystick, which gets them a shield and a star. They're getting closer to this. But I could throw that joystick away. But then again, they're not comboing that joystick with another joystick or buttons or anything. So like, is that the best use of one of my 3 throws? Probably not. But if I'm just looking to get cards out of my hand so I can recover faster, that might be okay, but I think I'll save it. I'll just let them get that shield and star, because if they play like 2 down joysticks and I was able to remove 1, I would prevent them from getting 2 stars because I'd prevent the combo bonus star they would get too. So, you know, using your cards when they're more impactful is probably a good thing, but maybe there's also a play to just playing everything out of your hand, and that's where some people assume the game just auto-plays itself and there's not much choice, but there is quite a bit of choice. I will play nothing. I don't want to play anything. I don't think. Yeah, they didn't play a button I can block. I don't have any defensive joysticks. I'll just let it go. So maybe I should have just played my hand out looking back now, because they wouldn't have really been hitting me. So I could have actually saved my recover for 1 more turn. So it might have been better off. So looking back, like, yeah, maybe a better play there. But again, I don't know what I was going to draw into, but I did draw some hot combos. Like, so I think it's good. So they're going to get a shield and a star from this joystick. Nothing else to resolve. Back to me. So now it's my attack. And hell yeah, we're going to go crazy. Let's go with like one of the best offensive plays here. We're just going to jam 2 B buttons that do 2 damage each, a forward that gets me a star and makes them discard a card off the deck. But then if they don't disrupt it, I will get a bonus damage from comboing a joystick, a forward joystick with a button, a forward joystick with a button, and the 2 matching buttons a bonus damage. So that's 3 bonus damage. So this is like a 7 attack if they don't disrupt it. So that's pretty good, right? So let's see what they draw. Obviously they'll block 1, but okay, they played a block. So they actually remove 1 of my buttons, and if there was a choice, I must choose the worst one for myself. So in this case, they match, so there's no choice there. But they just busted up at least 1. They busted up 2 of my combos, technically, right? But I still have this. So now we can resolve, which I did resolve that already. So that was a counters get resolved first. Then we resolve joysticks. So I get a star. I make them discard a card. Okay. And then, yeah, see, they would have not been really doing much to us yet, but, and then I'll do 2 damage plus, we'll resolve buttons and damage, and then plus the bonus combo damage. So we're doing 3 damage to them. They'll block 1, or sorry, defend against 1. It's not the same as blocking, I guess, but, and then take 2 damage. So they really nerfed my turn there, but just by playing 1 block card. That was a good damage mitigation by them. Well played, Sunshine. Well played. All right. So now their turn to attack me. Oh no, they saw what I did and they're like, oh yeah, I'll show you how to play 2 buttons together. And now this is where I would use a block, I think, because this is 5 damage coming at me, but if I play this block, it's only 2. Yep, we'll play that. So I'll just take 2 damage, resolve this, and we resolve that. And I think we're good. So now it is my turn to attack. I think I'll draw up. I could just play these by themselves, but like if I could throw another button in there, a joystick, and play like 3 cards on my offense, it'd be fine. I do have this throw for defense. Maybe I do clear my hand out a bit. But I like hitting hard when I hit. But again, I might not draw anything great. I mean, it is 3 damage if they don't break it up. Sure. Sure. All right, we'll play this. So it's representing 3 damage because of the combo of 2 matching buttons getting a bonus damage. And let's see what they do. Oh, they literally said, I got nothing, Rob. So just, you know, smash away. Okay, that's great. So they're down to 14. Beautiful. Okay, and now they're going to attack me. Oh, no! They're playing 2 down joysticks, which will generate them extra defensive tokens, shields, basically. And they're playing a button. But good thing I have a throw ready, so I will definitely play that to throw away one of those joysticks to prevent this combo stuff happening. They would have been generating 3 stars, extra damage, so I get rid of 1 joystick is not in there. So now we resolve my throw, we get rid of a joystick. Then we resolve joysticks. They gain a shield and a star. And then we resolve the buttons. We could resolve the combo too, I guess, which is an extra shield. And then they do 2 damage to me. And they didn't get to their ability yet. Okay. Well, on my attack, obviously I'm recovering. I have no cards left. Okay. And then it's back to them for attacking. Okay, they're playing an A and a B button. So 1 damage and 2 damage. Let's see what I got here. Okay. So it's no combo, so no point in playing a combo breaker because it doesn't do anything. They didn't play joysticks, so I can't throw. I do have some defensive joysticks, but again, they don't combo on defense. So if I played these as my 2 defensive cards, they wouldn't give me any bonus, so I could save them for offense. Or I just say, you know what, maybe just getting some stars and shields right now might be great, because remember, joysticks resolve before buttons, so these shields could help prevent some damage coming through. And look at my hand, I probably will just like play these on offense next turn, not the greatest. Oh man, it'd be so much cooler to play these on offense with like this button, maybe I do that. But I think I'm going to try to mitigate some damage. Even though I got a huge lead here, this game can be super swingy. This player could start firing off like their ability like back-to-back turns and instantly I'm like out 10 health and I can't do anything about it. So I'm going to try to play a little cautiously, I think. And I'm going to play my 2 defensive cards and I'll play 2 of these joysticks that have the defensive symbol on them. And then my opponent, or I resolve first, yeah, because I have joysticks. So I'll get 2 stars and 2 shields. Okay, and then we'll resolve their buttons. Which is 3 damage coming through. 2 of it must be blocked by the shields. 1 gets through them at 20. Okay, now it's my turn to attack. And I'm going to play an up joystick. And my opponent cannot throw up joysticks away because of my 2 the sky ability. You know what? I'll just throw these buttons in. They don't combo with up joysticks, so it's kind of like annoying, but... Do I save like a B button to play with a combo breaker? Because then they can't block the damage. Yeah, maybe I do that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to save this B to make it more impactful later. I'll just play this this blue button out here. Okay, what do they got? Okay, they're just playing a down joystick. So they didn't try to throw my stuff. So we resolve joystick simultaneously. They will get a shield and a star. They're 1 away from their star ability. Okay, I will gain 2 stars. Oh, I've hit my threshold. Now we're going to see my star ability has to fire off right now before resolving buttons. Okay, so it does 4 undefendable damage, so they can't use shields on it. So they're down to 10. Okay, and then I generate a shield off my evasive maneuver ability. And then that was us both joysticks done. And now we go to buttons. So this is just 1 damage, but it just gets blocked by 1 of their shields. I think we did all that correctly. Feels good. Feels a little weird playing AI, but yeah, I played it quite a few times off stream, but just making sure I'm doing it all correctly. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. If I did and you're watching later, leave it in the comments below. Okay. And that was my offense, so now it's theirs. They're going to use a forward joystick plus an A button, so that does do a combo of an extra damage. Not the worst thing. I do have this to block 1 damage, so that's fine. But I could break the combo and hit them back for 2, like I was thinking of saving for. I could also throw the joystick away too. You know what? Let's just... I don't know if that's worth it. But it does stop them from getting their star ability right now. So sure, just for fun I'll do it. I dump my hand, so we know I'm going to recover next, which is fine, so then I'll have some stuff for defense, hopefully. But yeah, let's just show this here. So counter cards are first. So we throw the joystick out. It's not in play anymore. And then we combo break them with this counter card. So the combos are already broken. So I guess I'd be playing it like combo breaker first, which stops the bonus damage. But the throw does it anyway. So it's kind of silly like what I'm doing a bit. But I did want to empty my hand. And it prevents them from getting a star, which the combo breaker wouldn't do. It would just prevent 1 bonus damage. In this case, I'm preventing me discarding a card. I'm preventing a star. I'm preventing a bonus damage. I'm preventing their star ability from firing off. So we'll resolve my 2 damage to them. That's it is blocked. Yes, it is blocked because it's just regular damage. Or defended against, whatever. And then the throw gets rid of that. And then they resolve their button against me, which just gets blocked. So a little expensive card-wise, but literally prevented so much from happening and bought me a turn. So now it's my turn to attack. I'm going to just draw back up again, recover, because I obviously just dumped my hand to do that. And we get 7 cards, and that was my attack. Now the opponent goes to attack me. And they're playing an up arrow, or an up joystick, sorry, that's going to get them 2 stars. And I could just throw it to prevent this ability from firing off, which I think is probably great, but I think I've now played all my throws. So after this, they're just going to go ham. But I'll play this on defense, and maybe I'll play a joystick with it. Yeah, I do have a back joystick that can be played, but I do have a pair of downs. I'm going to play those together on offense, I think. So I'll just play this lonely back arrow. So I'll throw their joystick out. I get to resolve mine, gain a star, and heal 1. And then they have nothing to resolve. So yeah, I'm like fully playing defensively against them. And it's working out. Now it's my attack. And I am going to... Let's play those 2 down joysticks to hopefully have them combo. They don't mess me up there. And then, you know what? I'll just throw in... Oh, those are defensive, though, and I'm leaving myself with no defensive cards. I think it's fine. I'll throw in this to combo with these, maybe, with some 2 damage, too. And then let's see what they do on defense. Literally nothing. What are you doing, AI? I see why the harder difficulty wants to draw 2 cards on defense. Because this, like, doing nothing. But again, in a 2-player game, there is turns where your opponent does nothing. There's been turns where I've done nothing for them, too, right? It just sometimes happens where you just don't have the cards, or you've played your whole hand out and left yourself open. But I'm getting lucky when I'm firing off these combos. So we resolve joysticks. These joysticks are going to get me 2 stars and 2 shields. And because I played 2 matching joysticks, they're going to give me a bonus star. Okay. And then the down joysticks will combo with these buttons to get me 2 shields. I can have a max of 4 shields, so that's fine. I hit my max. And then we'll resolve buttons. And we will do 2 damage back to the AI. Okay. And looking good. Except for I have no defense right now, so hopefully they don't have a turn like I just did. So they're going to attack. Okay. So they have forward and an A. I'm going to play nothing. So they will resolve their joystick. They will gain a star, force me to discard a card. They're also at their star power, so they're going to fire that off for 5, which hits me for 4 that I cannot defend against. So I'm going down to 17. And then they will generate another star from that ability. Okay. Yeah, they haven't really played buttons defending, right? To add an extra damage. I don't think we've seen that much. I don't think it happens very often, but... Alright, and then they're going to resolve their buttons, which is 1 damage, but it does combo with the forward joystick, so that will be a bonus damage. But I have 2 shields here that says no damage for you. Alright, and then my turn. I could just play these out. But I could draw up and maybe get some defensive cards. Yeah, I don't want to leave myself open for another... Oh, I actually do have 2 shields. And they're kind of far from their star ability, it's fine. But I'm not disrupting. But I don't think I have any throws left, so... No, I'm going to draw up. I'm going to take a recover. Oh, man, not getting anything pairing up too well here, but... Okay, back up to 7. Okay. So I got some defensive cards. All right. So back to them for offense. They're playing an A and a B again. 1 damage, 2 damage. It's not a combo, so playing a combo breaker is pointless. Unless I want to jam some damage. I think I'll just let it go. Yeah, 3 damage. So 2 gets blocked. 1 gets through. Down to 16 to 8. Yeah, I'm crushing them. But again, it could swing. All right, my turn for offense. Let's go up because we want to get some stars to fire off our ability. And let's just... we'll just get some cruddy buttons out of our hand. Because these don't combo. So I'd rather maybe combo with some better buttons. I don't know. We'll see. They are going to play a block. So they'll take whichever button. It doesn't matter. I don't think I have anything that matters with the combos. Both buttons are the same strength, so we'll just remove the blue. Okay. So we'll resolve joysticks. I get 2 stars. And then my ability fires off, so we'll remove 5 stars. And I hit them for 4 damage. They can't stop it. And then I earn a shield off my ability. And then we do buttons. So I just hit them for 1. Okay, their attack. So they have 2 back joysticks, which is a combo, which would generate them an extra star. They have a star, so that'd be 1, 2, 3 stars. They wouldn't hit their star abilities, so I think I'm fine. But I'm going to play a combo breaker. And I'll hit them back for 2, and I might as well play a defensive joystick. And I think I'm going to draw up on my next turn, so I'll just plan for that and just dump my stuff that I can play on defense here. And again, the button attached to a combo breaker button doesn't count as the 2 cards I'm allowed to play on defense. It's basically part of the combo breaker card. So we resolve counters first, which my combo breaker will shut off the star bonus they'll get from playing 2 joysticks. But we then resolve, then we resolve the 2 damage right now because it's part of the combo breaker. So they're down to 1. And then we resolve joysticks simultaneously. So they will get 2 stars and 2 healing. And then I will get a star and a healing. And that is that. I only have this. I will choose to recover. Draw back up. One more. Oh, look at all the yellows lining up. Holy. Not matching joysticks, but I can just play a 3 yellow button turn. They will be, yeah, they can't do anything about that, I don't think. So that was my offense, though. Now it's back to them. They will attack with a forward plus B button. I could remove the B button, sure. And that breaks up the combo. They're not going to hit their star ability. That's fine, that's fine. I'll just play a block. So we do counter cards first. Removes the button. Then they get a star from their joystick. And they make me discard a card. Okay, and then there's no button. So we're good. Now it's back to me for offense. Even with the combo breaker, they get the 2 joystick combo. No, they didn't get the 2 joystick combo. But they still do get to get what it says on the joysticks. So they still got 2 recovery and 2 stars. But if they comboed, they would get a 3rd star. And I think, unless I messed up and gave them an extra star, but they shouldn't have got the star. The combo breaker would like shut off them working together, but it's not like a throw and doesn't remove a joystick completely. if I did that right. Oh, okay. Yeah, I might have grabbed too many stars though and made that confusing if I did. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. No, you're not being dumb. You're just asking questions and we can clear it up. It's all good. It's a part of the learning process. All good. Okay, and then it's my attack, right? They just attack me. I play block. Yeah, so it's my attack. Let's just do it. Let's just try to finish them. We're going to just play 3 yeller buttons, all hitting for 2 damage. And if they are allowed to combo, it'll be a bonus damage for those 2, a bonus damage for those 2, and a bonus damage for these 2. Because combos, you can use the same button and joysticks in the same combos over and over again. So we're representing 9 damage right now. So let's see what they do against that. Oh, really? They do nothing. So I just hit them for 9. They only have 3 left. They're dead. Okay, we're going to play again. And I'm going to play on the harder difficulty, which I don't think I've tried yet. I don't think I tried that yet. But what I did notice when I first got the game, it was much closer playing against the AI on normal. My first learning game I played on the training mode, and it was still close. And then when I kind of understood the game a little better, I started playing on the normal mode, and I've noticed a gradual increase, unless I'm messing something up, that I just crush the computer. Like I play Mel, and it's like the games are so tight. But I play against a normal AI, and it's like, what is this, 17-0? This is not what this game normally does. So we're going to ratchet up the difficulty, but again, I started understanding more of the strategy of the game, the decision points and how they change, and the risk and reward, and also learning what's in your deck and what you've seen already and starting to understand that. Just like any competitive card game, those traits still are there and those skills still matter. But yeah, Mel is smarter than an AI. Well, at least smarter than this AI. So we'll give her that. On normal. But anyways, hopefully she's not watching. All right, and no one will tell her, right? Okay. So anyways, let's shuffle it up. We'll draw new. So we'll show off. We'll do one more battle. We'll remove these ones from the options just to keep showing new content. And I'll just shuffle it up. I'll shuffle my deck too in a minute, so make sure you stick around to watch that. And then I'm going to play with Blacksmith, but spelled silly. And he's got Forge Father, 4 stars. We'll do 5 undefendable damage. Force my opponent to discard 2 cards. And I have Enhance. Add 1 damage to your A attack buttons. Okay, that's cool. And then let's see what the computer gets. You know, I'm basically hitting the select random fighter button on the fighter select screen, right? And then it's just going picks this one. It's Rain Boom. Okay, what's Rain Boom doing? Rain Boom is doing a 5-star ability, hitting for 4 damage, generates a shield, generates a star, makes me discard a card, and heals a health. And has a scattered ability. Any different colored buttons are anytime different colored buttons are played, add 2 damage. So on those cards we kept seeing that were this card would have been like 5 damage attacks unless I blocked one of the buttons and like removed them from the attack. So yeah, so we have that to look forward to. So maybe this will be more challenging. Okay. Rainbow Bright's granddaughter? Yeah, pretty much. Rainbow Bright. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah. We'll see. So we're going to play on the harder difficulty, which the only difference is over the normal is we're going to draw them 2 cards on defense. So try to remind me if you notice I don't do it out of habit, because I played quite a few solo games. I have never drawn 2 cards on defense, so I got to try to remind myself to do that. And as you know, sometimes I start forgetting things when I get in a routine. So don't be afraid to call me out if you're watching live. It's all good. I appreciate the help. Okay, solo deck shuffled. Solo health reset. There you go. There you go, computer. You're back to full health. Okay, I got 25 health. Let's shuffle my deck now. They get 2 buttons on defense. They get the 2 damage bonus still. Sure. It says anytime, and in the rulebook it does say hero abilities if they always are in effect when applicable, whether it's offense or defense or both. Like, yeah. So anytime that happens, we add the 2 damage. Yeah, because it's not a combo or anything. It's just like a fighter ability, so that's different. Combos don't happen on defense, but that would be different. So yes. And again, these are different, like they have a whole different deck of fighters because this deck works differently a little bit, so they had to make them have different abilities because they wouldn't apply the same, I guess. All right, so again, I get to go first. It's always how it works when playing as the solo deck. Okay. What do we get? Oh man, all these buttons. Like, where's all the joysticks? I like joysticks early because it leads to more stars and some shields to get ready. But again, sometimes it leads to healing that's wasted. But I guess we can make it work. But at least there's pairs here. Yeah, it's weird. So weird. Okay. All right, what are we playing first here? Let's just go at them. I guess we can combo, maybe generate some extra shields. Yeah, let's just do... And we didn't get green buttons, which is the ones we get add damage to. So hopefully the green buttons clump up nice and we get to play a whole bunch together that are not defended against. But again, they're going to play some more defensive options for sure. Okay, so let's play just 2 yellows. Okay. And let's see what they do. 2 cards on defense. So they played a down joystick to generate shields, and they are blocking one of my buttons. You dirtbag. Okay. Yeah. All right. So the block will remove, obviously, one of the yellow buttons. Then resolve joysticks simultaneously. They'll get a shield. They'll get a star. I get a shield. I get a star. And they didn't break up my combo or anything, at least this one. So the down plus button generates me an extra shield. And then we resolve buttons. They get hit for 2 damage. 1 shield's removed, 1 damage taken. I'm in the lead. I'm winning. All right. Okay, now it's their turn to attack. So they're doing 2 back arrows, or 2 back joysticks, sorry. And that will generate them 3 stars and 2 heal, but they only can heal once. That's kind of okay. I literally have no cards to play on defense, so they're just going with it. So they will heal that 1, and they will generate 3 stars. Nothing I can do. Yeah, that's not great. Not great at all. All right, back to our turn. Do I draw back up already? Like, I want some defense, but... Yeah, this is not good. Yeah, I'll draw. It's weird, but I'll draw. 1, 2, 3. Okay, come on, man. Okay, I don't know. Like, I only have this card I can play on defense. I probably should save it for that, maybe, but it does combo nicely with this pair of B buttons. Oh, okay, anyways, AI gets to attack. Yeah, that might have been a huge misplay. All right. So yeah, I'll just let it happen. They're going to generate 2 stars. Now they fire off their ability, which hits me for 4 damage that I can't prevent, going to 21. They will generate a shield. They'll generate a star. They'll make me discard a card. And they'll heal for 1, but they have no health missing. This is going to be rough. I can tell already. I'm making some not great gambles, and they're just rolling, already getting their ability. That's nuts. Okay. So now it's my turn. Okay, let's just play... One shield, 2 shield. No, let's just get rid of these. We're going to play this. We're just going to play 3 blue buttons. They'll draw 1 that does nothing, and a B button. So that's not different colored buttons on defense, so no extra damage. But they did play a 2 damage button. Interesting. Okay, so we'll resolve buttons. Their buttons are defended with these. Then I'm hitting them for 3, 4, 5, 6 because the combos. We remove this one, and they take 5 damage. Yeah, I gotta take this serious, man. This rain boom is no joke. Now it's a little closer, but... Alright, they're going to attack me. Oh, it's a forward combo with the B button. Again, I have no cards to disrupt, so those are all going to come later, I guess. I'll just let it go. So they generate a star. They make me discard a card. Okay, then they do 2 damage plus the combo of a forward and a button is 3 damage total. So I'm down to 18. Oh man. Okay. And they're close to their star ability again. Alright, I'm just going to go here and try to generate some shields. And they're going to draw some defense. Oh, 2 buttons and a throw. Okay, at least they're not different color buttons. Okay. So they throw away my joystick. And then, so I'm not generating any shields or stars. Oh man, that hurts. Okay, then we'll resolve buttons. They'll just hit me for 2. Yeah, I'm getting wrecked. Then I'm going to hit them for, they didn't stop my combo here at least. So I'm doing 5 damage to them. So I am still technically in the lead by 1. But I don't like the way they're always sitting on 3 stars over there. And then they're going to attack me. Oh no! Oh, I didn't even know this was a card. I am getting destroyed. So they're doing 2, 2, 2. I have nothing to play. And then they combo. And they have 2 different color buttons, so they add 2 more damage. So this is 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 damage to me. I'm down to 7. Wow. Yeah. All right. I talk some trash. And the hard difficulty is earned the title. Yeah. Yeah, they get their ability on defense, Yogi, but they're like the star ability. They can trigger that on defense too, but only when they get enough stars. But yeah, so 9 damage. Yep, disgusting. All right, well, on attack, I am definitely going to just draw back up. Now my defensive cards are coming. Maybe I can still hang in this by just like holding them off for a bit. But yeah, I don't know. Okay. But yeah, that is disgusting what just happened there. Yeah, they're mopping the floor. Okay, so now it's their turn to attack because I just recovered. Okay, they did up and a blue button. Up and a blue button. I mean, there's no combo there because up joystick doesn't combo with buttons. There's no combo happening. So playing my combo breaker is a waste. And then I could just block a button, but it's like blocking 1 damage. Like, that's a waste of a block. So I kind of want to save when I can. I want to prevent their ability by removing when they play 2 color buttons again. I wish I had those blocks last round. Jeez, that would have been huge. Okay, I'm just going to let it. Oh, but they're going to get their ability fired off. But I can't do anything about that. I don't even have any defensive joysticks. Yeah, this is rough. Okay, so they're going to get 2 stars. And that will clear to do 4 damage to me. I'm down to 3. And then they're going to gain a shield. They're going to gain a star. They're going to make me discard a card. And they're going to heal 1. Oh, geez. All right. All right. All right. All right. Okay. So it seems I have to play this game a little more, and I got work to do, which is good. Good, good, good. All right. My turn for offense. Oh, I didn't do their 1 damage from their button. Yep. Yeah, they're at 2. I'm at 2. Hello, Johan. Welcome. All right. So let's go with our turn. Do I even have anything going on here? Not really. Not really. Oh, I did have a defensive joystick. How did I not notice that? Sorry, I definitely would have played that on defense. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize I had one in hand. Yeah, I missed that. I don't know why. So we'll just roll back and just say I played that, which the shield I got would have resolved before their button, so we'll just gain a health back and lose that shield. And I would have gained a star, but that's the only difference. Not a huge play, but I definitely would have played it if I noticed it in my hand. I thought I didn't have any defensive joysticks. All right, so now it's our turn to attack. Yeah, let's just go. So again, my ability is the A's count as 2 damage. So let's do that. And they're going to defend with just 1 A button. Still hitting me on defense. Get the heck out of here. Okay, so joysticks first. They'll discard a card. I gain a star. 1 star and I can cause some trouble. Then damage-wise, we'll just take their 1 damage. And then I'll generate 2 here, plus the combo of a forward and a button, forward and a button. So that's 4, 5, 6. They block 1. Take 5 down to 11. Okay, we're getting there. And I think that's everything. Yeah, those the joysticks they discarded off the top of my deck were pretty rough. Because that's definitely slowed down my star generation. Johan says, not sure if this is sponsored. So I've never ever done a sponsored playthrough of a game ever. We're fully funded here by people who click the join button down below, do super chats, or who go support our Patreon. All that stuff's in the video description. I don't shout it out a lot, but I do appreciate it because without it, I wouldn't even be considered to be playing games right now with you guys on a Wednesday afternoon here. So I appreciate the support, allowing me to do this as my job. But honest thoughts, I gave quite a few honest thoughts in yesterday's stream, and I'll continue to give them today. But again, the game was provided by the publisher, so keep that in mind. But I try to emphasize that I usually don't care about publisher relationships. Yeah, I like to, it's great getting a free game here and there, but it doesn't keep me going. Like, I have enough games that if no publisher sent me a game ever, I literally still would have too many games to play. So, yeah, we're good. And I don't mind buying games and supporting my local game store. So, but it is a nice perk to get some for free every now and then, especially early, and get to try some behind the scenes. But if I ever burn that bridge because a publisher didn't like what I said about their game, then they need to make better games. So hopefully they take my criticism as maybe a way to improve, and I want them to do better, not to destroy them. But yeah, I try to be honest about everything I say. So Johan, you don't even have to ask for that. So, but keep in mind the publisher did send me the game. So when that does happen in our industry, obviously there's a human thing, same in any industry that does reviews, right? When you're given stuff for free and you want that relationship to get early access to things, there is kind of like people have a fear of losing that and disrupting that. So, but thankfully I'm supported by the viewers, so I don't have to rely on them cutting me off from anything that's significant, right? Like them sending me a game that costs me, $40 to buy is like, whatever, man. It's not a big deal. So keep that in mind. But yeah, if you're on the fence for buying it, I recommend go watch yesterday's stream we did. It's in the video description. There's a playlist where I explain the game fully. I play with my wife. We play the 2-player version. We play a best of 3. We describe our feeling on it. We describe how we played it off stream with our daughter and like what kind of game it is. But do your research. It's deeper than it appears. It looks beautiful, but again, it might not be for you. It might not be the type of game you're looking for. There might be other games that fit better what you're looking for. But like, I honestly don't care whether you buy this game or you don't. It doesn't affect me at all. So yeah, so do whatever you want. Just do your research though, and don't listen to anyone on the internet tell you what you should buy or what you shouldn't buy. Just kind of watch what they say and use that and adapt it to your needs and your wants, right? And like your requirements. Because I have no idea what your requirements are, right? I don't know what you like. I don't know what you can afford. I don't know who you play games with. None of that's relevant to me, right? So I can't tell you if this game's good for you or not. That's up to you to decide. All right. But welcome to the channel. I appreciate it. Appreciate the questions. Okay, appreciate you watching. Because if you weren't watching, then again, like I couldn't do this, right? I can do this without being sent games from publishers. I can't do it if nobody's watching. So yeah, I appreciate you guys making this possible. All right, anyways. Oh yeah, and another thing to take note. One thing you can notice on the channel, since I don't have to play games, and even some publishers, when they offer to send me a game, they say, you don't have to play this on stream, but I think you might like this. Is it okay if I send you a copy? And I say, okay, let me look at it for a sec and judge whether it's like I might like it or not even. I don't want to waste my time with a game that looks like junk to me, right? But again, what's junk to me might be amazing for you, right? So a game like this, I definitely was like, yes, send me it. I will play it because I already demoed it at Gen Con and got to try a prototype. And I knew I'd already like it. And I love the theme of arcade games and arcade fighting. So I definitely like, already knew I was kind of like, I would like it. But based on what we played at Gen Con, but sometimes I get sent games and there's no requirement to play it. And I'm never required to play a game or stream a game more than like once. And again, you see some people's content, they will literally just unbox a game that they get sent, and that is their content. Here's me unboxing the game, that's my content, I'm done. Okay? And they've fulfilled their agreement. And some will get sent content and they'll play the first turn. Or they'll just give you their thoughts in like a few minutes and just describe what they played, but they'll never show you them playing it, right? And they'll basically like, did they watch another playthrough and just describe what they saw? Did they just read the rule book and give you a review? How do you even know they really played the game, right? That happens sometimes. But here, I agree to usually just do a playthrough, do a live stream, and I let them know I'm going to say whatever. And if they're okay with that, like I try to give feedback to help and help other people make educated decisions, but whether positive or negative, however you want to look at it. But the other thing is, I didn't have to stream this twice. I didn't have to play the solo mode with you guys. I didn't have to play the 2-player mode. I could have picked one and streamed either. So a good indicator whether I like a game is if I stream it more than like one time. Because I don't have to. I stream things because I want to play them more. I want to enjoy hanging out and playing them. The cool part is Rob's gaming table. Like I can play whatever I want on the table, which is super awesome. Thanks to you guys supporting. I don't talk about this enough, but like since Johan's here and is like asking about it, it makes sense. So just to give you like an understanding for those who are new here, yeah, that's kind of how I do it. So if you notice I'm playing a campaign game and like not many people are watching episode 10 of me playing a campaign, it's because I'm actually really liking the game. So you don't even need to click on the video. You know, like I'm playing it and I like it. I don't have to finish any game. Or I don't have to play the game more than once. I don't have to play more than showing you how it works, or like, technically I just make a video. I could tell you, I could make a video going, hey, this is the game. I played it one time. It's pretty cool. And just end the video, like, you know, so hopefully that makes sense. But I like to give games a fair shake, and I like to show how the game plays at least, whether I like it or not, so you can make a decision. Because I know this game, I play it here on stream, and you're like, wow, this doesn't really like fit with what Rob usually likes playing. But like I said earlier in today's stream, the games I play off stream with my niece, my nephews, my daughters, my like, you know, my you know, mother-in-law, family, whatever, the holidays and things. What I play with certain friends that won't play on stream are completely different than what I play on stream. I play quite a bit of different types of games. And this is kind of one of those games that I would play like off stream. And I actually played a ton off stream and had so much fun with it. My daughter loved it. And she is hard to get to play games with me nowadays. And she asked to play this game again after I taught it to her. So that's like the best review I can give you. It's like, if my daughter actually came down to play with me instead of playing games with her friends, that's kind of huge. So whatever that tells you. But anyways, hopefully all that was informative in some way. But yeah, my daughter is now 15. She just turned 15. So obviously she's a teenager that's too cool to play games with her dad anymore, but she still does, but it's hard. And I'll teach her games. Every now and then I'll make her play a game with me if Mel's like not around or busy. And I'm like, okay, Chelsea, sit down. I need to just like, I just need an experience of learning this playing against somebody. You don't have to play well, but I just need to see it through to help me understand, like, is this game good for the channel? Do I like it? Like, am I going to like fully understand the rules? Let's play. And sometimes I make her play games. She's like, okay, cool. I'm like, do you want to play another one? She'll be like, nah, I'm good. And then sometimes later I'll be like, hey, do you want to play that game you learned yesterday? No. And she never asked to play it. But then sometimes, probably once every like 5 games, she'll be like, out of nowhere, be like, hey, do you have some time? I'll be like, why? She's like, can we play that game again? And yeah. So to me, that's like, it you know, melts my heart when she like wants to play games with me, because it's been like literally like probably 7 years since she like would beg to play games with me. Now it's like, I'm like, you know, maybe a gun to the head kind of involved kind of situation, getting her to play games with me nowadays, if you know what I mean. I don't own a gun. I'm only joking. But yeah, anyways. But yeah, so hopefully that makes sense. And that was kind of cool to me. So that also made me schedule 2 streams for the game, partly because I was like, this is damn fun. And I played the solo mode a bunch to learn it, and then I actually started playing it just to play it and have fun with it. Not just to play it off, to learn it for a stream. And I actually liked it. So sometimes it's nice to just have a game you can whip out, looks nice on the table. Of course, I'm a sucker for PVC cards from playing Chip Theory games. So I have the deluxe edition, I'm a little spoiled. So again, if you buy it at retail, it might be paper cards and things, but you sleeve them up, it's good, you know? You're fine. So don't feel like you need the deluxe edition unless you're a Chip Theory game snob like I may be, and you're just used to playing with these premium components and, you know, feels nice. But anyways, all right, what were we doing? And whose turn was it? Squirrel. So I feel like they attacked me last, right? That was their attack to me. No, I played an attack on them, didn't I? Does anyone remember? Yeah, I attacked last for sure because now I only have defensive cards. So their attack now, right? Yeah, I appreciate the questions, and that was what you might consider a Rob rant, where I just go on rambling about something, but it's related. It's related. It wasn't off topic. We're fine. Okay. So, they're attacking. Is that the same attack? Oh, okay. It's different card, slightly different with a block on the bottom. I was like, did I draw a card? Okay, so they're attacking me. Up arrow, 2 stars, and attack. Am I going to survive here? I'm like delaying the inevitable, I guess. Let's just block a button. Yeah. We'll just take the button out of there. I don't want any damage there. So they'll just generate 2 stars. And if they get 2 more stars, I'm instant dead. So we need some heal or something. And on our attack, I'm definitely just drawing back up. I got nothing, but at least I have defensive cards. Okay, here come all the defensive cards. So now when I need to do damage to them, I'm just literally going to be turtling and hoping to stay alive. One more card. All right. So my green buttons do 1 extra damage due to my blacksmith enhance ability. So now it's their attack. Oh no. Oh no, they'll get the 2 stars. If I can't stop this, I don't have a throw. I can't stop it. Can I play a joystick that gives me health? No. Yeah, I think I'm dead here. Because even if I play this combo breaker, and let's say I'll attach, I don't know, green button to it, which counts as 2 damage. So if I resolve my counter first, it blocks all the combos that are happening here, but it doesn't remove anything. Oh, I can play a second defensive card and remove a button, okay? But then we still resolve joysticks, okay? So, oh, I do this 1 damage first. Okay, great. I got them to 10. Whoopie-doo. Okay, so I remove this button. Now we resolve joysticks after resolving counters, and they get 2 shields. They generate 2 stars, but they don't combo to get a bonus star, but that doesn't matter because they've now hit their ability, which will do 4 unblockable damage. I only have 2 health left. So, boom. They got me. And it wasn't even close. Wasn't even close. Oh, man. I needed to get my ability off. And there was like, I think a couple times I discarded. When they did their discard, I feel like they got a few joysticks, which reduced my combos with extra stars. Like when they're throwing joysticks and discarding my joysticks, less chance I'm comboing them together to get, more stars at a increased rate. So that means I'm not firing off my ability as often. And also my ability here, my star ability, Forge Father, doesn't generate stars to help you kind of snowball with it. But yeah, my deck was like, yeah, it was weird. Oh, there's a throw coming up there. Oh man, got some B buttons coming. But yeah, I don't know. I did play a little weird at the beginning. I don't know if I was making the right choices. I definitely think I could improve there. So yeah, I definitely was playing a little weird at the beginning, and I think it led to me, the fact I wasn't digging for defensive cards and letting myself be open, and they were getting some nice combos off, was that turn where they got like the 9 damage shot, which makes sense. We're pretty much like, 10 damage difference here. So that 1 9 damage turn they had that I couldn't disrupt at all, that was like the nail in the coffin right there, pretty much. Unless I could have generated some heal, in between that, but yeah, that was cool. Got me. They got me. Okay, that feels good. That feels good to actually like, okay, there's more incentive to replay the game. The fact I can just play on hard now, get my butt kicked a little bit, and keep trying to improve, maybe try some different characters. I could just sit here playing the same character against the same AI and see if like maybe I can get it, you know. But I thought I was doing good, like disrupting them a little bit. But yeah, I just didn't have all my counters yet. But again, reshuffling up might give me some different options. But yeah, I don't know. That's all I got for you. That's Neon Rain, the solo mode. Again, custom deck, playing against the solo, custom character cards. That's the difference, really. That's it. And then the rules of like they use the top or the bottom, and you might see buttons on the bottom. And remember to check their abilities and their star ability, because they will be different. Some of them will be different on these computer cards versus on the two-player version that doesn't say computer. So yeah, that's it. I don't know. But thoughts? I have fun with it. Again, please understand my bias here. It's not that I'm a fan of the designer or the publisher. I love 90s arcade games, okay? I grew up, you know, as a teenager in the 90s and going to the malls, going to, in the city I grew up in, there was 2 places in the downtown core, 2 buildings on the ground floor, like almost next to each other, that had arcades in them. They were huge, long rooms that went all the way back, and they had all the latest and greatest arcades. And I used to like ride my bike for probably like 45 minutes to get to this. It was quite the trek. But I also used to drive to different, or I used to not drive. I used to pedal my bike to all different stores. And I said some of this last night on the stream, but like I used to go to like different, you know, pizza stores, variety stores, you know, 7-Elevens, whatever, that would have like one arcade machine in them. And I would go and check them every few weeks and see if they switched them up. And like our friends, we'd meet at the mall and we would sit there challenging people in Mortal Kombat, Killer Instinct, Marvel vs. Capcom, Street Fighter 2, 3, whatever, or Street Fighter 2, whatever version. I played Samurai Showdown a ton, all in the arcades, challenge. I remember being like a 13-year-old kid and going in and putting my quarter up against the monitor, challenging some 20-something-year-old dude who's been wrecking everyone in the arcade just for my shot to take him out, and then I carry forward, and then people challenge me. That's what I used to strive to do, right? I'd be going to like the, the bookstore in that same mall and trying to memorize fatalities and combos for those games, and then go down to the arcade to spend my money to use those combos to try to beat people and stuff. And then I remember finding a used game store back when I had my Super Nintendo. I found like this custom arcade stick, so that way I could practice like Mortal Kombat, Killer Instinct, Street Fighter at home on my Super Nintendo, learn how to play it better, and using my, Game Pro magazine or whatever it was, and then go back to the mall and try to crush those guys who were like, beating everybody. And they were the talk of the playground, that like they were so good at it. I was obsessed. And like when they would get Mortal Kombat 3 machine and I would like, okay, Mortal Kombat 3 is cool, but like I miss Mortal Kombat 2, and the mall would get rid of it. I would literally bike and find another mall across the city, or find where that machine went. And I would even ask the people running the arcade where that machine went, and they would contact whoever whoever was renting out these machines, and I would find out like which pizza store that old Mortal Kombat machine I played a whole bunch would move to, so then I could go there with my friends and we could play that same machine. I remember this. I loved it. Loved it. Be honest, Rob, you were the 20-year-old beating up. No, when I was 20, I was working way too much. I didn't have time for that stuff anymore. I just played at home. But up until like probably between the ages of like, I'm going to want to say 11 or 12 up until 18. Those years were like obsessed with arcade games and obviously home video games, especially the ones that were then emulated at home. But once I first played my first arcade game and saw how amazing it looked and sounded compared to what I had at home. But I did grow up also, my brothers and my stepdad were into hockey. So when I was even younger, I would get dragged down to the hockey arena. Yeah, a Canadian getting dragged to a hockey arena growing up in a hockey arena. You never would think it, right? But in that arena, when I went down there, and my brothers or, whoever's playing hockey, of course, in that arena, they would have, the funny thing is they'd have a card store that would be selling like sports cards, but they would also have like arcade games there too. And I'd be playing those arcade games, and I remember playing like Altered Beast was there. I don't remember what else was at that arena. I just remember Altered Beast very much. I think Bomberman had a machine there. There's like a Bomberman game. Maybe it wasn't Bomberman. It was something a little earlier. But I remember growing up and playing, walking up, the machines that sell the candy. Put your quarter in for some Reese's Pieces, or I could put my quarter in that arcade game beside it. Yeah, I would lie to my parents and say, I want to go get some candy and I'll leave you alone, and they would give me quarters to go get candy from the machines or bubble gum or whatever. And of course I'd lie and get all the quarters. Of course I make sure I'm super annoying to earn those quarters. And then they would go, here's some quarters, get out of our hair. And of course I'm wandering around this giant arena. As a parent, I wouldn't have let my kids do this, but it was different times. But anyways, then I'd be spending those quarters just playing arcades the whole time. The hour or two that my brothers are playing hockey, or my parents, And so I was like obsessed with arcades because they were so much cooler than what I had at home. With my Nintendo and my Super Nintendo, looked great and all, my little 13-inch CRT. But then you go to the arcade and it's like, a 19-inch CRT. Whoa, now we're talking. Big sound, full joysticks, big quality buttons. So fun. So yeah, I was obsessed. And then, when I played Mortal Kombat, it changed my life. Totally changed what I loved. And then I got obsessed with it. And then Killer Instinct, loved that also. Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter were like my obsessions. So playing them in the arcades, then getting the home editions, then getting a custom arcade stick for home so that I could practice, the arcade combos and finishers and all that on actual buttons and sticks, and not a controller, with a D-pad and buttons. So when I see a board game or a card game say, this simulates the arcade feel of a classic arcade fighting game, I'm like, all right, like, show me what you got. I know if you're full of crap or not. But this does kind of get that feel of a little battling game, but obviously it's like very simple. It has the combos, it has the attacking, the defending, the timing, all that stuff in there, the breaking of the combos, the throwing, the blocking, all that stuff. But of course there could be some more advanced stuff to it. Being a more complex board gamer and playing more complex fighting games over the years, there are things I would love here, but that does leave room for expansion content and stuff, that could make the game more complex. I don't know if the game will sell that well, or if anyone's looking for a more complex game than this, or to beef up the complexity in this game. But it would be more fun if they had like, a little campaign in it where you're fighting your way up, just like in an arcade fighting game, where you're battling weaker AI opponents. Then eventually you're fighting like 2 fighters at once, or a mini boss, or a main boss, and you're trying to beat it. Wouldn't that be fun if the solo mode had like a little map and you're working your way through the map, and maybe they're adding in, like I said yesterday on stream, was stages. Imagine they had stages and like little abilities that if you're playing on a certain stage, it adds something to the fight that affects both players to kind of spice it up, whether you're playing 2-player or solo. There's just some extra things from fighting games that if I was going to design a fighting game, card game, and again, this might exist in other card games or other fighting board games. I don't play a lot of them. I play a lot of 2-player card games, so that I understand. But I know some people are mentioning some other games that are inspired by arcade fighting games that might be a little more complex. Hey, Mike. It's no video game champion immersion-wise. As far as I can tell, it's pretty and likely fun. Definitely fun, I think. I think it's fun for what it is. Again, it's meant to be quick, meant to be simple, easy to teach, short to play, a fun little back and forth. I could see after playing it, a lot in the same day, you get kind of used to it, but there are 12 different fighters. And again, there's different little modes where you can fight like 2 fighters, best of 3, all that stuff. And again, the solo mode's included. But again, from all the games we've been playing lately, it's like I expect a little bit more to it. But again, I got to remember, this game is like, you can tell it's targeted to go on a shelf in a retail store to compete with all those other little small box games, So it's got to keep the scope down and the price down and the box size down. So it makes sense why it's like, it is what it is for like the first version of the game. But I'm surprised in the deluxe edition there wasn't like add-on upgrades. I don't know, maybe the crowdfunding didn't do too hot or something. I don't know, but yeah, maybe if this does well in the future, we will see, an expansion that adds more characters, more modes, more things that spice up the fighting to add some extra decision points and you know, make each fight feel a little more unique. But yeah. But remember, Mike, this technically isn't a Chip Theory game, right? This is like a studio under Chip Theory. I know they took it over and kind of like took it to the finish line, but yeah, it's definitely not like, it's more from their expanded universe kind of thing. You know how they've been doing like kids games and stuff now. So did you buy all those kids games they're selling too? Or you bought all those and then you skipped this? If that's the case, that's kind of crazy. But yeah, because if you're considering this a Chip Theory game, you have to consider all those kids games they make now, all the lighter games they make, right? But yeah, obviously if you like Chip Theory stuff and you like the quality components, like if you're looking for something more meaty in a solo game, you need to look for like 20 strong if you want something smaller. But again, that's a longer play, more in depth, more rules. But yeah. Gotcha, Mike. Gotcha. Yeah, it's Manny Tremblay. The guy also designs and does arts on Dice Throne. Yeah, we mentioned that on stream earlier. I thought I heard that yesterday, and then we looked it up on stream and we found that, yeah, he is the artist for Dice Throne, which makes sense. When you see the art, like this game looks beautiful and you're like, wait a second. You kind of like, if you play a lot of Dice Throne, you know, well, those cards are kind of glitched out because they're AI, but yeah. And we know from playing 20 strong Tanglewoods, right? We've seen Manny's art and design before in that game too, which was, I love that. So definitely was a cool game and definitely looked nice. So yeah, I didn't expect, I expected quality for sure. The rulebook in this game though, again, it's version 0.04. This rulebook kind of sucks. It gets you started, but you'll have questions when you start reading their abilities and timings on things. But a quick look through BGG for like 10 minutes, I found the answers for the questions I needed because somebody else had already asked all the questions I had. But yeah, the rulebook definitely needs like an update because it's like a little weak. Because it's like you read it and you're like, oh, this is super light and easy. But then you go to play and you're like, you'll hit some roadblocks where you're like, that's not clear. Especially in the solo mode. The solo mode maybe needs a little bit more explanation there. But yeah, kind of you figure it out. It's not the worst, but... Again, the game's not that deep, so it's like, you know, play it however you want kind of thing, but... Oh, is he credited on Radlands too? I was comparing this to kind of like the look and feel of Radlands, right? 2-player card game, nice quality components, that bright neon kind of look. No way, really? Well, let's find out. I bet if I sort the games he's linked to by rank... Ah, you're right. Oh, Wonderland's War also. No way. Is it art or design? Oh, it's art for sure. Not designer, though. So basically, one of the artists on Radlands is also the designer and artist for this game. That's cool. That's cool. I love Radlands. Oh my, I gotta play it on stream again. Since we bought that tiny little expansion, it just gives me an excuse. I have to play it again. So hopefully we get to play that soon, because I want to. And I mean hopefully is I gotta get through other games that I want to play even more. So yeah, hopefully I get to that. Hopefully I get through those and then still want to play this and no one's forgotten about it, but yeah. But yeah, that's Neon Rain. That's the solo mode. That's all I got for you. It's so quick, so simple, but still there's some strategy to it. But again, you want a lighter, quick, like a sick looking, like definitely the table presence appeal to the game. Even being a small little game with just like a deck of cards and some tokens is like, yeah, it's a sweet looking game for sure. But it is fun and it definitely works. It feels kind of balanced. Obviously some of the character abilities like counter each other we found yesterday on stream. Sometimes you'll play a character that kind of counters the other one, but I think you could still play them and like it could still go the other way too, but yeah, anyways. Yeah. I know, Yogi. I was trying to stretch it, but yeah, we're definitely ending under 2 hours for sure. I just wanted to show the solo mode. I could play like best of three. I could make up my own tournament structure. We play all the characters, but like I think you get the point of the game. We have some fun watching it. We talked about it. Yeah. I don't know. It's like, yeah. I also don't want to scare people away when they see a stream on the channel. It's like, oh, this card game Rob played for 4 hours. Holy, it must be super deep and take forever. And then they buy it and then they watch the stream later maybe. And then they're like, oh, why did you take 4 hours to play that? So try to keep it shorter to show it off. But we like to go a little deep with games here and discuss and all that stuff. So a little more long form. Yeah, 100% Mike. I was thinking of how to turn this into a tournament for stream to play with Mel. And I was thinking of how we divide up the characters. And then we pick, like, chat pick some. And then, like, you know, I don't know. It would have been fun to make, like, a bracket and play through it. And, like, you know, we flip a coin who plays which fighter and stuff. I thought of all that to try to make a more longer stream to show off all the fighters. But then when I played all the fighters off stream, I've played most of them multiple times and played against them all. I was like, okay, it's like, really, do I need to show like these little different abilities that are like just, you know, this one adds damage here and this one adds damage there, or like, you know, this one's star ability is a little more expensive but adds a few more things to the bar. Like, I don't think I really need to show all the characters in the game to show off how the game works. It's not like Too Many Bones where like a different gear lock makes the game work like basically differently, you know what I mean? Like, it's very different. So, but yeah, I was thinking of that, and then that's what made me think like, wait, why isn't there a tournament format in the game or a ladder to work through? Especially with the solo mode, you think it'd be fun to make like a, even just like a little page in the rulebook explaining like, here's how we can make an increasingly difficult little ladder to work through, where you have to fight like, you have to make your way through like, I don't know, 5 fighters, you know? That still makes it like an hour and a half game or less. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. But anyways, it's not that kind of game, I guess. They were looking for something just short, quick, and dirty. Not epic, which I always like my games to be more epic, but anyway, still a cool game. Again, I love the arcade theme, so I'm a sucker, so don't trust me. Obviously, I'm looking through my nostalgia glasses, but I definitely think it's a fun game, and I love the theme, and I love the look, and it's definitely fun, so. But that's me. It might not be the best for you, but I don't know. That's what I got. Definitely a quality game. Yeah, we add a round robin first to find out which heroes or which fighters make it to the bracket. Then we have like a playoff. Yeah, we could make this like an 8-hour stream for sure. First they have to, we do their, you know, their background of trying to make it into the league, right? And then they got like, we go through their backstory and then, you know, then they earn their way in the league. And then we play like a whole season. And then they make it to the playoffs, you know, in a big showdown, a major tournament. Yeah, exactly, Mike. A small deck of cards for stage maps would have been cool. Exactly what I said yesterday on stream, what I said today. Stage cards, like just some stage cards to spice it up. You just, you know, a deck of maybe 5 to 10 cards, and you just flip one at random, and boom, here's how it's affecting your current fight. You know? Maybe sometimes it's just like, you can't play red with green buttons, or, you know, joystick combos are turned off. You know, stuff like that, or just like, it affects both players equally, but it messes with them. But then again, you'd have to balance the characters for that, because some characters might be hurt by that more than others. But yeah. Again, yeah, needs some WWE foldable chair battle arenas. Yeah. Cage matches, ladder matches, all that. Or also like weapons. Again, you could add like fun weapons, like laser swords and things like, because there's like fighting games that focus around weapons, and you could have fun stuff where like, you know, choosing a weapon that just adds a new ability to your fighter, you know, and they're kind of like universal. Would be fun. Finishing moves, you know, gives your opponent a chance to finish you. And if they don't finish you, you recover some health and you keep going. And there's like some kind of way, I don't know how you would do that. Again, I'm not a game designer, but I've played a lot of arcade fighting games. So like I can kind of think of all the things in those fighting games and like how I would incorporate them in a game. But again, this game had a certain scope to it, right? And they probably were like, no, let's keep it simple in the first one. See if people even like it. But yeah, you could go crazy. But anyways. Yeah. Breakable arenas, that swamp. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for supporting the channel. Thanks for hitting the like button. Holy jeez. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow. We're streaming some Western Legends. We're playing it with Kyle. We're going to have some 3-player Western Legends on the channel. Tune in for that. We're going to have some fun, you know, destroying some friendships. Should be great. And then tune in the weekend. I'm going to schedule another Fate Forge stream. We're continuing that campaign. If you want to go watch that playlist, check the playlist section on the channel. Go watch the Fate Forge playthrough, catch up. You can join us live on stream for that one, or just subscribe. Stay tuned to the future where we'll play some other games, of course. You know, who knew? You subscribe, and in the future, I'll stream some games for you. You never would have guessed. But anyways, thanks a lot for supporting us over the last more than a decade. We appreciate it, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.